So today I am so happy to introduce Annie and to welcome her to our call. She has been a client for a bit and has had some tremendous success. And so I wanted to invite her on today to inspire other women to see what's possible. And so, Annie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Carol. I am in my 40s. I have been a mom for about 19 years now, and we got married in November of 2005. I love music. I love gardening. I love to sew. I like to organize. I'm a busy person, and I also thought I knew everything I needed to know about motherhood and being a good wife. And that is an interesting part of my journey, I think. And I was very much in my own world and didn't realize how 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 much I'd kind of fallen into just a I don't need any help. I can do this myself. And then when I started to feel overwhelmed with by all of life, just with little kids and all of that, I began then I was too afraid to ask for help because I thought people saw me as this person who knew how to do everything. And I couldn't let them know that I was floundering and really didn't know what to do. But you keep going on. I also am very much so like the person because self-reliance was very much a part of my upbringing, all the self-help books. I've read all the self-help books. And uh, but I kept hitting a wall. And I think the biggest lack of intimacy with my husband and I ended up being that I genuinely, and I think this came from self-protection from some of my childhood, but I genuinely thought I could do things better than him and that he was a good guy, but like I felt superior to him. And it's interesting looking back at that because I was very much against being a feminist. Like I didn't consider myself a feminist. The man is the leader, the wife is the heart. And yet I was very critical of him. He's somewhat phlegmatic, very laid back kind of guy. And so I thought he was kind of lazy. I thought he was boring. And I thought that was just how it was going to be for us. I'll make the best of it. And it's interesting that I didn't think that I needed the skills. It was when I started reading transformations in this group that I was in, and this was in the fall of 22, that I thought, oh, that's interesting. Like they were talking about this self-care, and that was so foreign to me. Um, because like mom should be last. Mom, should take care of everyone else. And I had a lot of stuff that I had learned maybe a wrong way. And I be just the curiosity, I looked into it and it reading her book really opened my eyes to, oh, I didn't know as much as I thought I did. I went from a place of victimhood to a place of feeling like, oh wow, I I am important. Like I do matter. And I don't want that to sound like my husband was a good husband. He he basically just was really kind and put up with all of my criticisms and I don't know, maybe lack of when you lack confidence, you come off as being overconfident sometimes, and it's all just that facade. And so we'd have the Cold Wars would be where I would just have hit a wall because I felt unsupported. I wasn't telling my husband how he could support me. And he wouldn't know what to do. And he'd want to help me. And I wouldn't let him in. I wouldn't let him help me. I thought he couldn't help me. Um, a fun part of my story is I have 8 children now. I had 7 when I started this, and one of the friends I knew early on, she was new to all of this work that you do that is part of the skills I feel of just like the vision board and the being positive instead of being negative. And she invited me to my first vision board. And I had written down all these things I wanted to do. And after I read my list in this little homemade Zoom call we had, she invited me to read it again. And one of the things on my list was that I would like to have another baby. And this was kind of what really helped me buy into these skills. Not because as Catholics, we don't believe in magic or anything, but I read my list, and one of them was I would like to have another baby. And so when she asked me, Annie, go back and read it, and can you change your words? Can you say I am statements, like make them I am? Because when we say I'm going to, we can put off that work. Where we say I am already this, it changes us. And so I did. I read through this list and of course started bawling because I read I am going to have a baby. And lo and behold, 2 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. So that was just such a beautiful thing. And then that spring, there was some family drama, and that's with my family of origin that came up. And it's interesting because I think my past was I felt responsible for everyone. And so my true self was very buried. And this is where I this is where the coaching helped me, Carol, because this big family drama, exploded. I didn't know how to handle it. I did handle it, but I could get off their paper where I didn't know that before. But it was a big setback. I felt like it was a setback. I don't think it was, because what happened then is it kind of forced me to be vulnerable with my husband. Because it's scary. Like, to tell this person who loves you so much that I need help. It's so funny now thinking about that. Like, why are women so afraid to say they need help?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. You're not alone in all of that, Anna. There's a lot of struggles that we carry and we try to do it alone. And yeah, letting our men in, we don't think we need them or that they can handle it, but in fact, they really can. So yeah,
Yeah, he totally jumped up. He was like, "Well, what do you need? What can I do?" And we had several long talks, and he obviously, my husband's aware of the family drama that was going on, all of that, and he had shielded me from some of it, which in the past I had not appreciated as I did that time, this new time of it happening. And so I told him I didn't know, but I had started to see your name floating around on Facebook. And a friend in my surrender circle had, I think she had shared some, you do your like your little holiday
Advent
challenges.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the holiday challenges. I've not ever done the renew, but I think it was a holiday challenge. And so I had seen you, I'd kind of started to read some of your Happy Catholic Wives group posts. And I think I had reached such a place of desperation, and my husband wanted to help me, that I thought, you know what? I guess I'll try this. And uh we did our interview, like we did our like your uh, beginning interview to see if you could help me, and you thought you could, and so we set up one-on-one coaching. And uh wow, walls started to fall down, Carol. Yeah,
Walls started to fall down. Wow.
walls. Yeah, yeah. Looking back, I don't think I thought they were walls falling down in the moment. I
Yeah.
think the more you grow in these skills, the more you kind of see, wow, like the wow effect reverberates. At least it does for me. Sometimes I just I'll just stop and be like, wow. The biggest one being my husband not letting my husband help love me. And when I've shared this with a few friends too, it wasn't, I don't mean in the bedroom. Like, I mean just not letting him, he showed his love in so many ways. I think you talk about looking for heart messages, looking like going on treasure hunts to see how our husbands show their love. And like I had these lists of things he did for me. He would wash the dishes, not all the time. It'd be like every 3 weeks he'd wash the dishes. And my old self was so focused on the fact that he left splatter everywhere and he didn't actually clean all of the dishes well, and this and that, that I didn't see that he did them for me. He always fills the car up. If my husband drives one of our cars, it is full, the gas is full when I get in it next. And it seems so little, and yet it's so big because I hate to pump gas. Like I just, it's nice to not, I never worry about that. And little things like that. He leads our family rosary. He always has. And so now I thank him for it. Like after rosary, I'll thank my family. Thank you for praying rosary with me. Or thank you for praying the rosary. And that was probably the biggest thing coaching did for me, Carol, was just realize that it's not all on my shoulders. And instead of looking for what I don't have or the help I think I need that I don't have, look at what I do have. Because I had a lot, I was very, I had the wrong perspectives on.
Yeah. So it's typical, right? But it sounds like you started to gain some mastery over your thinking and expanding your gratitude, right? So we do a lot of work around mindset, which really sets my coaching apart. And so, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, yeah. So our one-on-one coaching, you really helped me unlock and see that and poke holes in my thoughts that I was unworthy, that I wasn't lovable, that I was undeserving. Um, and then we took it from there to like dreaming. And that's something that I think I think you really helped me with too, is not just realizing I'm worthy, but now taking it from being worthy of love to, what are my dreams? What are my heart's desires? And how do I share them? Because when you share stuff out of fear, it comes out off very needy and very just I don't know. I don't have a good word, but it doesn't come off in the right way. It comes off with expectation to it because when you're not sure of yourself or when you still have those like you kind of you're not unworthy because Coach Curls helps you figure that out, but you still have to fight those feelings. um your husband can pick up on it of what is that underlying control. And I know in the group coaching that's also so helpful. After we had done one-on-one for, I think we did 4 to 6 months. I don't remember now exactly how long we did one-on-one coaching. Um, that really made me feel like I could handle anything. And I thought, okay. But the group coaching was wonderful too, because by that time I had started wanting to dream, and yet I was still in my way. Like I was still, I don't know how to explain it, but even though like you help us unlock things within ourselves, but you don't do the work for us. Like we still have to do our homework, so to speak. um, and work through our thoughts and changing them and pivoting. So by the time we'd gotten done with our one-on-one, we had gotten a little money and our home is little, and I'd wanted a nicer kitchen. And it's so funny because I realize now with coaching, with the group coaching, with doing this work, that one of the biggest handicaps to my husband and I's relationship was me just not telling him what I want, because he was scared to death to guess and get it wrong because, I would point it out. And so the kitchen remodel was very interesting. And I feel like it was a beautiful blessing to our family. It was also just like a huge workout of this journey of learning, what do you really want? What you let go of? What can you let go of? What do you need to say? I really would like this part. And the kitchen remodel helped me to dial in, one, to being able to let go, because we got started and then one of the contractors walked out on us and I thought I was going to lose my mind, and I probably would have if it weren't for the skills, because we came to group coaching. Everyone rallied around me. You had some good, you helped me poke holes in all of these thoughts I was having, and we ended up getting a better guy. Like Your coaching is so helpful to stepping back so God can step in.
Mm.
And we're, letting go of that, tight hold we have through fear. That if I could sum you up, Carol, anyone listening, the skills and the work you do, they could be summed up to you make it possible for the quote of God helps those who help themselves.
Mm.
You help us help ourselves in the way that actually lets God in.
Mm.
Because all these self-help books I read, but until you can actually let God in, he can't do anything for us. So yeah, so now I have a beautiful kitchen and I didn't lose, I maybe lost a tiny bit of intimacy here and there, but I didn't lose the intimacy I could have without the support. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you definitely are the heart of your home for sure. And I love that in the desires practices that we did, like that you identified that you wanted that nicer kitchen because you're all about creating, all of it, the meals, the connection, the love in the family, right? Like that's what you're always doing, even in the garden. And it's so beautiful that you are willing to get stronger and to be brave and to own reconnecting to yourself and your desires. That's a big part of what we do too, is reconnecting with ourselves. Because when we're out there taking care of everybody else, we're managing so much. It's like, no wonder we're always exhausted. And instead, it's like, oh, yes, calm down, do the self care, focus on what he's doing right. Like we start shifting all these things in our being, and our men step up and our
Mm-hmm.
relationships get better. Tell me a little bit about even have relationships with your kids improved?
Oh, yeah. That's I'm grateful for what has happened with my husband and I, but I'm even I think I'm even more grateful with my kids because again, I thought I knew how to do everything, but if you think you know what to do and control is in any of it, you don't know what to do. I
Mm.
Because you can't control anything. Like we so like that's another thing, with working with you is like you find out how many sneaky ways control has woven in. So with my children, yes, my oldest was graduating. This was last spring. Didn't know what to do, and I leaned into the SFPs. And it's funny because she ended up using this SFP on herself. I heard her by the end of the summer using this SFP. I would say we chat. I think she wanted me to solve her problem for her, which my old self would have done. Like, I'm so grateful for the skills because I would have jumped right in there and micromanaged her life for her, and it would not have served her at all. And so I just said, "You'll figure it out, honey." I'd sometimes say it 3 or 4 times in a conversation with her, and it was so cute because this would have been, I guess, last fall. I heard her telling people, and not, it just came out of her mouth. Like she was telling them she was thinking about this or that, and she would figure it out. And as a mother, it makes your heart happy that that's true independence, like my son right now, I have my second oldest is going to graduate this spring and he is in a different boat again though. Like we'll check in with him. Is there anything I can do to help you? I'll ask him that, do you need me to do anything? And he has said yes once. I think he's very independent. And the skills have taught me it's okay to wait. I don't have to know everything right now. Like the world's not going to fall apart if I don't know everything right now. And it's been beautiful for me to see God teach me true patience. um and it's funny too. This is anecdotal, I guess, but something that's funny is that like in your circles of friends, in your parish, in your family, like it's been funny because I have very much so gotten a kick out of seeing people baffled that we are not more on top of our children, like what they're gonna do. And my old self would have been a little bit paranoid about that, like where did I mess up? And my new self is just able to be like, they're good kids, they're figuring it out. it's okay if they wait a year before they go to college, you know? And so it's this learning the skills and building intimacy has helped me to see where the importance of relationship lies.
Yes. Sounds like you're more free. You're
Yeah.
just, and that's the surrendering piece. It's like, yeah, surrendering from thinking that we have to have all the answers and be on top of it and control. And it's
Hmm.
like, no, 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 no. Actually, it's really freeing and it takes the pressure off them. Then there's less anxiety and they can figure out what it is because you're
Hmm.
believing in them in the positive, right? And so I love what you said that. And I also love what you said about that naturally your daughter and all of us, I see it so often when women post in a Facebook group and they want someone to tell them what to do.
Hmm.
And it's like, no, you're giving away your power. And by
Hmm.
standing and instead with coaching, like we ask questions and I don't give answers. You have your answers. You are the expert in your life. So that when we ask a question and then yeah, you got to do that homework because you need to go back and process. Yeah, what do I want? What does matter? I don't know. Nobody else can tell you what to do. And so your daughter, like it's so powerful that you were able to believe in her, that you're figuring it out. And eventually now she doesn't come to you with, give me the answer. It's sort of like, no, I'm figuring it out. That is an empowered young lady. That's
Hmm.
the kind of legacy that we want to create with our children. And we talk about creating a legacy of love. Yes, it's definitely with our husbands. We want to have that solid foundation for them. But it's also about who they're going to be when they leave the nest and that they can make decisions and that they have parents who believe in them and that yeah it's not like coming from fear that they're going to mess up, life's going to be whatever, you're going to miss opportunity. No, 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 you have faith. You're choosing to come from faith that God's with them, they're going to be fine, it's all going to work out.
Hmm.
So different,
Hmm.
so different.
Hmm.
Right, so I acknowledge all that you've done in creating all of that. It's so beautiful. And it's not easy either, right? It's not easy.
No, because you still want to know.
Yes. But even that having our group coaching and having the community of women
Mhm.
around you, you can get a lot of support so that you're
Yes.
never doing this alone because doing
Yes.
it DIYing, whether it DIYing our marriage or like you said, like we think we have all the answers on how to be a great mom or how to be a great wife. And it's like, actually, we don't have a clue. We are
Hmm.
stumbling through often from what we learned from our mom and dad, and that may or not have been good. Most of us did not have good role models. Didn't. And so my mom was married 3 times before she died. And so that's another truth is that if we don't figure things out and we think that divorce is the answer, most likely we are going to create the same problems in the next marriage and probably the next. And so it behooves us to figure things out and learn how to do this right the first time. And what I see over and over is that so many marriages are saved here and it saves the kids too. And so that really is the mission that I'm working here, why I do this work is to make that difference. And your story is a huge testimony, especially with so many children that they are going to go off and we want them to have happy successful marriages, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
What motivated you originally? Because I know, like you said, you had fear about spending the money, fear about yeah, even needing help, like admitting that, gee, maybe I need help. What got you over the hump? What was it that you finally said, yes, I want to do this work with a coach, not just on my own?
I think it was desperation, Carol,
Mhm.
because I was so into self-help books. I really felt like I had tried everything,
Yeah,
and I'd
me
not
too.
ever done therapy because it was too expensive, or also I didn't think I was that bad. Like I looking back, sometimes when I look back at my old self, I just want to laugh because it's like I thought I knew everything. I clearly was struggling. I wanted help, but I didn't think I could get the right help. Um, and it was just finding you, God placed you in my circle, if you will, at the right time, coupled with desperation, coupled with knowing there was an answer because that the intimacy skills gave me, like, I knew they were like a bridge. I knew I could get to a better place. I just didn't know how. And it's more applicable to family life. It's more applicable to just people of faith. And
Mindset piece also really
Mhm.
next levels all of it. So
The
yeah,
minds, oh, I would like to say a word to that. The
sure.
mindset piece is what makes you so different, Carol. I find myself now that I've been with you a couple of years, now I'm not fully rewired, but when I find myself getting stressed out or angry or upset about something, I can stop and look inside and identify, what do you need, Anna? Like, just pause. What do am I hungry? Like, that has been, I think, I'd like, if I may, talk about safe places, because I think the thought work you do is what helps, especially um well, with husbands and with children, to create that safe space that the heart of the home is meant to be. Of just like learning to take care of oneself and to see what we need so that we're regulated makes us then that safe place that we're supposed to be. And there are lots of books out there. I've read lots of books about being the heart of the home, but it doesn't break it down into the tiny little steps you need to be. I'd never learned about you can capture your thoughts until you start this thought work with us, and it's like that's probably the superpower of superpowers you give to us, is capturing a thought. And we want to control everything. Like, we always will come to you. This woman want to control everything, and you help us learn how just to control ourselves, which that's all we're really supposed to do anyway. And that's very freeing, to finally just control me. So, yeah.
It is the road to freedom without a doubt. Yeah. And it brings me such joy to see your success and the success of so many women. It just keeps rippling, right? Like that rock in the pond, and we see it for future generations. So, yeah. Anything else that you want to share in closing? Like, if there was a woman considering coaching, what would you say to her?
I would say it probably is the best thing you can do for your family. If you, or for yourself, either. Whatever motivates you more. If you want to serve your family better, or you think you need help, either one, the coaching is going to help you in whichever area you want to grow. Yeah.
In ways that they don't even realize, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's so,
Right.
so true.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't think I needed coaching either, but I'm so glad that I got it because
Hmm.
yeah, we're in year 36 and would have been divorced at 26. So it's
Hmm.
made a huge difference. How many years have you guys been married now?
And we've been married 20 now.
20
Hmm.
years. Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful.
Yep. And
And you had,
that's another thing. We went on a trip,
yeah,
and that was another thing with coaching that you helped me. It was like to dream, but not tell my husband every aspect of it. Like, it was hard. That was very hard, to not to let him just plan a trip. Like, but it was beautiful. And it was so stressless, you know? Did I do absolutely everything I wanted to on that trip? No, I did not. Is that okay? Yes, it is. Because if you look at life with gratitude, it changes your whole vision. Like, we'll just go back another time to do the thing we didn't do. Like, so it
and
was, yeah, it was very,
he was so happy.
yeah,
It was freedom for him, right? Like it
it
has allowed
was.
him to
Hmm.
step up more as a man. So, because at first he
Hmm.
was a little bit nervous about planning a trip or taking you on a trip, he wasn't quite sure, right? Naturally, they
Hmm.
have PTSD from
Yes.
our control and our criticism. But all of a sudden, the way you were being, he started being brave, and he planned a beautiful, beautiful trip. I think I remember
It
you
did.
posting a picture about the two of you were. I think you on a balcony, but like you had this lovely meal or something, and
Hmm.
it was
Over the
just
ocean. Hmm.
yes.
Hmm.
Right. And so then we get to in that femininity, like you're receiving,
Hmm.
receiving. That's what we're designed for. So that when we're stepping into that feminine genius, to be able to just receive and to allow him to
Hmm.
be of the man, it's like, oh my gosh, he does
Hmm.
want to take care of you. He wanted to do all these things the whole time. And when we get out of the way, yes, you said like we let God in, but we also let our husband in. And they both want to make our lives amazing. So,
So
yeah.
can I share an update in our
Yeah.
story?
Yeah.
So my old self was always, kind of dogging him. Have you done this? Have you done this? And that trip was last fall. we usually try to go on a camping trip every summer with the kids. And I always want to go several states away. And my husband's always, he's thinking about the car breaking down. He's thinking about all of the stuff that he does need to think about because he's taking care of us. And so he always wants to camp local. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Anyway, I haven't said anything at all, because like at this point in my life, even if we don't go camping, oh well, I've really let go of so much that sometimes I think people think I'm losing it. But he's already now planned our whole summer vacation, all of it, and it's ready to go. And we'll leave in June, and we're going to Yellowstone. I know. And yeah, so it's just like, I guess my parting words would be to ladies who are fearful, just let go of the fear, because it is such a handicap. You're cutting your arms and legs off, and it doesn't do any good. And when you make that space that God can put himself in, you can't outdo him in his plan. You just can't. So,
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. This is so
yeah.
inspiring. Yeah. Yeah, I acknowledge your courage here and your vulnerability and really appreciate you being willing to share for other women so that they can conquer their fears and come on in and get the support they need, because they can definitely, we make so much more progress, so much more quickly than trying to do it all on your own. I have a library of books as well, read them all, right? Like always books, programs, everything. And it's like, no, 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 this has made the biggest difference for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Well,
thank you,
so
my
thank you.
friend.
Thank
Yeah.
you for acknowledging me and all the women, Carol, because as you know, as moms, we do a lot. And it's so nice to be acknowledged. So thank you.
Yeah, I see you. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for this interview, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thank
Okay.
you.